I want to give y'all a little bit of a glimpse of what's happening across the country. And this is all happening within the last 24 to 48 hours. As far as news outlets that are reporting the plight that is happening. Oh, I love Canada. I'm coming to Toronto. Lester, I got you, man. You know I love Canada. But at least you ain't Chicago, right? At least you ain't Chicago. Because I'm not sure. I don't even know if I'm invited to Chicago. Am I invited to Chicago? Y'all? Don't worry about it. We'll get there. We're going to discuss it. But I want to give y'all a glimpse of what's happening all across the nation, okay? And so across the nation, it's getting cold outside. See, when all of these migrant buses and everything like that was coming into y'all cities, and we got so many different sanctuary cities from Denver to Atlanta to down there in Arizona, right? We got Chicago at the forefront of the congregation. New York, Eric Adams said, I'm putting my hat into the ring, right? I don't know what they was thinking, but we got all of these sanctuary cities and spaces, and I've been keeping you guys informed. One of the only content creators that is keeping you informed of what's going on, not only with your finances, but also what's happening across the nation as far as the migrant crisis and things like that. And it's getting cold outside. And so with it getting cold outside, we're facing a dilemma, ladies and gentlemen.
This is exactly the situation city leaders and migrants feared. There are thousands of asylum seekers sleeping on sidewalks all over the city as temperatures plunge toward freezing.
It's the coldest most of them have ever been. These Venezuelan natives seeking asylum here in Chicago are for now stranded, wrapped only in donated winter coats, hats, and gloves. All of this feels completely foreign to them.
Fam, them Crocs that you got on right there, let me back it up real quick. Them Crocs that you got on right there, that's not going to help you. Shout out to Chris. He was in the building. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Them Crocs that you got on right there, them jogging pants, that plastic that you got over your tent, they didn't tell you. They forgot to give you the memo. When y'all was in El Paso and y'all was getting over that fence and y'all was just easily walking in and they said, hey, where you want to go? And you said, oh, I want to go to Chicago. Send me to Chicago. When you said you wanted to go to Chicago, you didn't know that Chicago was also called the Windy City for a reason, did you? Yeah. It's different in Chicago. See, they didn't tell you about that because they didn't want to, discourage you from picking the place that you wanted to go to because they was just trying to figure out how they can get you out of where it is that they were so that they didn't have to spend over $2, $3, $4 million a day to house you. See, when they made Crocs, they made the sport mode for the back to go up, but they didn't make it to where it could fill the holes and then make that plastic not be extra hard when it started to get cold outside.
Misael told us, yes, it's been and is very cold. We are finding out that it is going to snow, and we are hoping they get us out of here as soon.
He got that good leather jacket on. I don't know where he got it from. See, when they was making that trek across the jungle, I don't know where they got that good leather jacket. Listen, I don't even think I got a leather jacket. I be wearing hoodies with a bubble coat over my junk in the wintertime because, I'm from Detroit, so it's a little different. We familiar with what's going on. We know how to dress accordingly. We got the ice skating rink down there at Campus Martius about to be popping off downtown. It's going to be lit with the holiday market. Downtown Detroit is a place to be in the wintertime, ain't it? It's awesome. It ain't cold in the D no more. It's warm. We got hot chocolate. We got ice skates. We got families, friends, ball drop. Like it used to be in New York, it's a little bit better over here in the Detroit area. We donate, we take care of our people, we get the homeless off of the streets, all of that. But see, I don't even think I got a leather coat. He got the leather, and it ain't even December or January yet. It ain't even February. It's only November.
As soon as possible. Misael and his cluster of sidewalk neighbors have been here for a month and a half, sleeping with just the protection of plastic and anything they can find. He said, I don't have kids, but there are families here with 2, 3, 4 kids. They are inside and outside. The city has dispatched buses to offer overnight warmth from the sudden winter temperatures.
We need more than the warming buses, but we need to take everything we can get, right?
City leaders have been scrambling for weeks trying to establish so-called base camps, massive military-style winterized tents like these that have already been built in New York.
We are in this room saying no.
In mid-September, many people in the Morgan Park neighborhood revolted against plans for a base camp at 115th and Halsted, where an affordable housing complex is set to break ground next year. Monday, a city council committee approved that land acquisition. The ward's alderman wants answers.
I haven't been given timelines about what this looks like, when they'll be on the site, how long they'll be on the site, what this means for safety for our community.
As the city battles blowback on base camps, thousands of migrants are left with just overnight buses and tarps to keep warm.
With the possibility of snow tomorrow afternoon, the city says they will expand hours for warming buses as needed.
And the question that you have to ask yourself while this is happening is who's paying for it? See, it's easy to have this conversation when you're spending everybody else's money, but when you're spending the taxpayers' money, the people start showing up. And they say, wait a minute. We've been homeless. We getting evicted. We having problems. We can't get our streets fixed. Our property taxes is going up. And where's the money going? Because I know that we don't own our own streets, according to the report that we did last week. I know we don't own our own streets, so where's the money going? Because the money from the parking meters is going over there to Abu Dhabi. You know what I'm saying? And Morgan Stanley. Where's the money going? Oh, so it's going in order to build these base camps and warming buses overnight in order to keep people from suffering. And they out there with Crocs and everything else that you can figure out. And it's only going to, let me tell you something, bro. The code is the least of your problems when it comes to the constituents that you serve. I predict that there's going to be a reckoning in all of these sanctuary cities with the people that they elected. I believe that there's going to be a reckoning in every last one of these sanctuary cities with the people that you elected, and that there's going to be one of the most historic voter turnout rates on a local level hitherto unseen. I do. Because see, now with people like me bringing this to the forefront of the congregation, I think that what you see right now, that's the mayor of Denver, Eric Adams. Listen, I've never been this familiar with what is happening on a local level in other cities outside of my own than now. And it's because I have an interest to protect the people. I have an interest to provide you with the information that you need in order to make informed decisions. Let me give you some insight on what's going on in other parts of the country.
Taking Denver's migrant crisis to the steps of the White House, Mayor Mike Johnston joined Chicago's mayor to meet with White House.
Look at all of them giggling. You see them giggling over there in Washington like little schoolgirls, all working together. Brandon Johnson feeling like he a part of the club because he's surrounded by his fellow mayors that may or may not look like him. You got Johnston and Johnston right there. They all fat, greasy, and happy. Got their stomachs sticking out. They tie is extra long so they can tuck it in their belt when it goes over that beer belly because they've been sleeping good and eating good at night, still getting all of their pay inside of their compensation package, even though they spending taxpayer dollars. And now they asking for federal money. They over in Washington, they said, listen, we want the whole country, all of y'all tax dollars to share in the pain. And they over there feeling good about themselves. Belly sticking out, beer drunk over the weekend, went to church, went to brunch, probably got some good loving from them wives. They kids is probably going to the best schools, and they stomachs them truckers is sticking out. This is what's happening. Let me show y'all what's happening over there in Denver.
And members of Congress yesterday pushing for federal action.
More than 100 migrants arrived in Denver today, so the city now has served more than 26,000 people since the end of last year at a cost of nearly $2 million per week.
Tonight, Denver 7's Claire Lavazorio is telling us about a hotel shelter closure, despite the increase in people needing help.
Denver is spending over $2 million a week Hey, remember when $1 million used to be something? Now they talking about throwing away y'all taxpayer dollars at $1 million, $2 million a week. Mayor Brandon Johnson is spending the equivalent, according to the reports, of over $40 million a month. Chicago is in such a deficit at $600 million projected, according to some estimates. And they just acting like it ain't even no big deal. $2 million? We just gonna go ahead and blow that bag. Show that Bentley. 2 M's a week. You couldn't get $23 in order to feed your family if you was to go down to whoever it was that was inside of your mayoral office. You would be took through the ringer. Oh no, because you know what? I know. You know how I know? Because I was one of the kids that applied for financial aid when I first graduated high school, before I decided to go ahead and forego the college experience, put it off, and I had to go and get me a job, and I worked my butt off. But I was one of the kids that filled out their FAFSA, because back then you couldn't even really do it online. You had to do it in person. I filled out my FAFSA. I did all of my college applications. They wasn't waiving college applications, right? And I went and I said, ooh, can I get some money in order for me to study and go to college? I'm not going to get a basket weaving degree even though I'm only 18 years old. And you know what they told me? Your mama and your daddy make too much, but not enough, so you can get these student loans that you're going to have to pay back. We ain't got nothing for you, family. On a federal level, on a state level, and on a local level, it wasn't nothing for me. I asked for my reparations in the form of Pell Grants and filling out a FAFSA. They said, listen, we ain't got nothing for you, big dog. Your parents make slightly more than they need to in order for you to qualify, but not enough for them to be able to pay for you to go to school. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I know you're going to be coming up with the Millionaire Morning Show in like 20 years from now, so don't even worry about it. You're going to figure it out. You're going to make a way. But we're going to spend this $2 million per week on making sure that we go ahead and get this next class, our next voter class, up to date and up to speed. And that's a fact, though. That's a fact, though. And I did it all the right way. We didn't change it. We didn't modify no figures. We was too scared to get in trouble. I said, listen, I'm going to have to come and do this show, and I'm going to have to be, I don't want no felonies on my record. I don't want my parents going to jail, none of that. I'm going to have to go ahead and do it the right way. So we got it out the mud. They're spending $2 million in Denver per week on people that is just chilling on warming buses and making sure that they can stay in hotel rooms. That's a fact, though. This ain't my opinion. This is a fact.
When this hotel closes on Monday, about 30 migrants will be transferred to 4 other shelters across the city. I talked to one woman here from Venezuela who says she has a short-term plan, but no long-term solution for a place to stay. After a 3-month journey through the jungle, this woman from Venezuela is one of 2,000 migrants now living in Denver.
We're getting by day, searching, getting used to life here because it's very difficult as well, the English language.
You look at this woman right here, right? And outside of the fact that she can't speak English, she got her eyebrows arched, her hair is done. She got a gold necklace on. She got the tattoos right here on her shoulder, right? She got the plunging blouse or whatever it is that y'all want to call it. She got the butterfly eyelashes. Her makeup is done to a perfection. And she's has her mask covering her mouth because she don't necessarily want you to see. And this woman, I just want y'all to listen. I come from a different space and a different culture. I'm not just going to look at the news for what it is. I'm going to break it down based off of what I see because I'm from the streets of Detroit. And so my context clues lead me to think something a little bit different than what the news is presenting to me and the fact that she don't speak no English, right? This woman wants me to believe that she had a hard trek through the jungle. Lions, tigers, bears, cartel members, monsters everywhere. She had a hard trek through the jungle. And she's trying to figure out how she's going to make it over in Denver. Denver is a tougher place to survive because they're going to kick her out. Mayor Mike Johnston is kicking her out of her comfort in than it is to get through the jungle. I'm just saying, I just have to look at it for what I'm looking at it like. Let me play the rest of the video. I know y'all be getting mad when Anton don't play the whole video first before he start giving his commentary.
The city, the cold, but we'll get there.
She's staying at the Comfort Inn in North Denver, one of 5 hotels being temporarily used as shelters for migrants. Though numbers are still high, the city says 108 people arrived in Denver Friday. The city will stop using the Comfort Inn as a shelter next Monday. Denver's Mayor Mike Johnston led a group of mayors this week who met with the White House to request financial help for the migrant crisis.
Part of the conversation certainly was about the importance of the presidential supplemental.
Who is Karine Jean-Pierre? I haven't seen a press secretary that spent this amount of time, that's been in that role. Trump used to go through press secretaries like this. Y'all not getting it together? Let me get you and get another press secretary. I've been seeing Karine Jean-Pierre as a press secretary for the White House for Biden. It seems like since he's been in office. She is a spokesperson for Biden. I need to do a little bit of research on this woman.
Funding request, which also includes support for communities and to continue our work to accelerate the process of work permits.
Amanda Blaurock, executive director of the Village Exchange, says funding is tight for her nonprofit that provides services for hundreds of migrant families each week, with limits to the length of
See you
time
crazy. I'm
people
reading that
can
super
stay in
chat shortly.
shelters. Blaurock is working to support legislation to speed up migrants' ability to legally work in the U.S.
Because 14 days as an individual and you're out, or 37 days as a family, well, what's next? That doesn't change your legal status. You still not have a job.
As for this woman, after the Comfort Inn's closure, she plans to stay at another hotel nearby for a week with money she saved, and from there navigate her new life day by day.
Money saved from where? Okay, listen. I'm just curious. Money saved from where? So you got a week's, most people do not have $500 to $1,000 to be able to get themselves out of emergency. If you have no ability to work, listen, let's have an uncomfortable conversation. If you have no ability to work, you have no legal status, no ID, no nothing. You don't have nothing. You just came over here with nothing through the jungle. Where are you getting the amount of money to be able to stay for over a week at a new hotel when you get kicked out of the regular one? Honestly, look, it's not, I'm just trying to understand it the same way that y'all trying to understand it. I'm minding this through in real time.
We can't lose hope. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but it's not impossible.
I'm Claire Lavazorio for Denver 7.
So that was Chicago and then subsequently Denver. And now we're going to go over to New York and see what's happening over there. All of my favorite mayors.
New York City migrant shelters at full capacity. The situation.
Wait a minute. Listen. Don't get mad at me. Y'all got to be patient with me. Don't get mad at me. Be patient with me. God ain't done with me yet. Who is this woman over here on Fox 5 in New York? Fox 5. Who y'all hiring over here in the green? Somebody give me her Instagram so I can figure out who she is. And we can get an interview here on A Million. They want me to change. I can't change. I am who I am. I'm stuck in my ways. I am a 41-year-old man that is stuck in my ways. I got money to spend, flights to catch, bag chasers to go and hang out with. And I want to know who Shawty is in the green shirt that is on. You can't tell me that Fox 5 didn't put her on there with that outfit knowing that she was going to be on there having a conversation about the time. You're not going to do that with me. 41 years old, 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 41 ye Shawty. Hair flowing, greening, wasting. That's why I don't need no co-host. I don't want no co-host for the Millionaire Morning Show. Tam, Renee, you got me? You got me? A lot of y'all think that y'all got husbands that don't be like, we pay attention. That don't mean that we got a touch. We just looking. We just want to know what's I want to know what's happening in my. Let me get past her. Let's see if she know how to have a conversation at least.
Situation so dire, the mayor has said migrants could end up on the streets.
For many of those who came to the U.S. in search of a better life, the American dream is proving to be difficult.
No ring.
Stephanie Bertini talked to a single mom of four who said
Somebody give me your
she fears
Instagram.
her
I need to
family
know what's
could end
going
up
on.
homeless.
Among the asylum seekers living in one of New York City's hotels
Raekwon
now being
aside,
used as a shelter, this woman and her children.
Hey, Abele says lusting with eyes is a sin. Then lock me up and throw away the key.
The worry is we have to leave the hotel, she says. She asked us not to show her face, explaining she's afraid of being exposed. She's more comfortable living in the shadows because of her immigration status.
Wait. Exposed to who? We don't know you. We don't even know if that's your real name. We don't know you. We don't even know if that's your real name. What do you mean exposed? What you got, an OnlyFans? What you on, Instagram or something? Your friends is going to call you out and say, no, whatever. What are you talking about exposed? Exposed to who? You don't even speak English.
Fear is something she's learned to live with since she left her home and made the dangerous illegal journey to the United States. I can't work.
Oh,
I
no,
can't
not
do
the
anything
munchkins
for the 4
inside of the
children.
diner.
It's complicated, she says.
What they playing
like
on?
Every mother, she wants the best for her kids, and that was her motivation to leave her country, a nation in South America where people contend with poverty, political oppression, and other dangers. The quest for a better life, the fight for the American dream, it's the story of countless migrants who are willing to take big risks. This mother paid a human smuggler. She says they traveled through dangerous terrain and crossed several countries, including Colombia, Panama, and Ecuador. Eventually,
Wait. I thought that these people was seeking asylum. I'm just curious. I just want to make sure that we all on the same page. How are you paying a human smuggler? So you went through all of these other spaces in order to get over here, and then you ended up in New York. Yo, this is wild. This is wild. Okay, so all right, question. And then I promise I'm going to play the rest of it without stopping it. Question. What is the difference between illegal immigration and seeking asylum? Just curious, because it used to be illegal immigration. What is the difference between illegal immigration and seeking asylum? Somebody fill me in. I'll wait. You know I like to interact with the chat. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. If you're paying a smuggler, coyotes, to get you through in order to get you up through to New York, and I'm always open to being corrected, educated, get more understanding. What is the difference between illegal immigration and seeking asylum? If you paid for a smuggler to get you through up to New York, what is the difference outside of a free bus ride to get there?
eventually they crossed the U.S.-Mexico border. We saw many dead people, she says, telling us one of her children almost drowned and her oldest got lost. He was separated from the family for a few hours. A lot of ugly things, people dying of hunger, he says. Clearly, he's already seen the worst life can offer. The illegal journey into the United States proves deadly for many. U.S. Customs and Border Protection has long documented the dangers. When non-citizens cross the border unlawfully, they put their lives in peril. But migrants continue to pour across the border and make their way to New York City, a sanctuary city dealing with a huge overflow that has become a humanitarian crisis. The demand for shelter so overwhelming, officials are now enforcing new measures like time limits, 30 days for singles and 60 days for families. And then we don't know where we will go, she says. She's on the edge waiting for more information after seeing this posted in the halls of the hotel where she and her children are staying. It's written in several languages, including English, and says in part, Mayor Eric Adams announced a new rule that impacts all families with children staying at this location. Site staff will provide you with information about when your last day at this location will be.
You know, the interesting thing about it is that I'm not sure what the end game is. I think I'm pretty smart. It takes me a little bit longer to get it as a C student, but I think I'm pretty smart. And what I'm trying to understand as we report the news and we mine this out and we try to figure it out, and we've been reporting on this for a long time. I mean, months on months on months, right? And I'm trying to figure out what the end game is, not just on a local level, because I believe that these mayors are leveraging these people in order to get more money. And so what they're doing is that they're betting on the idea that Biden will make sure that they get the funding that they want in order to continue to fill in the budget holes for their cities. And they're leveraging these migrants in order to do so. And they're saying that it's a sanctuary city because it's a gamble. Now, the gamble for Eric Adams, if I had to put it all together with my C student context clues, is I'm going to say that these people are going to have to hit the streets in a certain amount of time because we don't necessarily have the funding in order to keep them up here, right? Which they knew that before they came there, but in order for them to be able to justify and move according to how the Matrix is forcing them to move, they had to play the game, right? And so they're basically doing what Sean Fain from the UAW did to the automakers, and they saying, okay, well, we're going to put them out unless you give us some funding, unless, in order to keep them there. But here's the thing. This game has been going on for a long time. This game has been going on for a long time. And that before I went to the New York meetup months ago, I contemplated of whether or not I was even going to go to New York because I had been hearing stories about not only migrants continuing to take up a lot of the hotels in New York City, but also on top of that, there still was residual effects from all of the people that were allegedly homeless that was being housed inside of these hotels. So why would I pay good money, or why would I continue to invite my bag chasers to come and stay at these hotels if it's being overran and being used up and abused by people who were not supposed to be, or people who are not paying customers at the same time? So again, because to say that, okay, well, we need $5 billion in additional funding, such as what Mayor Brandon Johnson did in New York, or I'm sorry, in Chicago, when they all went up to the White House and they said, oh, we need $5 more billion, that doesn't actually solve for the problem, and that you still are going to have to support these people for an extended period of time, give them some form of asylum, which is the first thing that you're doing, which is why you then ask for the money. You're using taxpayer dollars in order to do so. And then on top of that, I'm assuming that the play is to get them some form of citizenship, which would then allow for them to be able to vote and then become a part of the new voter class, and then give them the ability to be able to work, to fill in the holes that we have as far as the jobs that people don't necessarily want to do, which then takes away from the middle class because companies won't necessarily have to hire people at a certain rate. The market is based off of what somebody is willing to do it for. So I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to pay attention to what's going on in these streets. But let me see what baby girl, let me see if she put her Instagram up here real quick. I know we're concerned about the migrant crisis, but I just need to know what's going on. Hey, somebody find out what's going on at Fox 5 in New York. I'm curious what baby girl is, what her mindset is. I'm not interested. I don't care about what she looks like. I'm trying to understand what her mindset is and what her thoughts is about the migrant crisis. I love to interview her here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Hey guys, find out Fox 5 who that is. We need to figure out who her Instagram is. We're gonna reach out to her, see if we can get her to join the show to give her thoughts. You know what I'm saying?